welcome to my Flamingo Land vlog. As usual, I'm starting this vlog in my room, as I do with all my these sorts of videos on my channel. But yeah, I announced in my recent Alton Towers vlog from Woodafone that I'd be heading to Flamingo Land. It's currently Friday as I'm recording this, and we're heading up to Yorkshire tomorrow, staying over for one night, and then on the Sunday we're going to be at Flamingo Land. I've never done a video from Flamingo Land before, so there's going to be plenty of off-ride and on-ride, hopefully, footage. I did actually go, well, I've been kind of 4 or 5 times, I think. It's about 2 hours from me, so I don't go that often. I've been about 4 or 5 times. I did actually go in 2017 after I started this channel properly, but I didn't film a vlog last time. I'm not sure why, I just didn't. But yeah, this is going to be the first video I've ever filmed from Flamingo Land, so you can expect plenty of footage. With the on-ride footage, I know some YouTubers like Theme Park Worldwide film on-rides, but I'm not sure kind of what level of permission you need, whether you need any level of permission or whether you can just do it with a GoPro. So I'm looking into that. I can't actually find anything on the website about it. I've asked Theme Park Worldwide about it, so I'm going to continue looking out for some information on that. If not, I think I'm just gonna take the GoPro and see what happens, because I'd rather get there and find out I'm not allowed to film on rides than finding out that I am allowed to film on rides and not having it with me, because that would mean that I wouldn't be able to get any on-ride footage for you guys, and I don't know how long it's going to be till I go back there. So yeah, and I want to post some separate on-ride POVs and off-ride POVs obviously through the winter, and yeah, it's just nice to film on these rides really. But yeah, heading to Flamingo Land, it's a theme park and a zoo. It's quite big really, obviously, with it having a theme park and a zoo, and there's quite a few rides in the park. I think it's quite an underrated park in my opinion, because there is quite a lot to do there really. You've got a good range of family and thrill rides. In family rides you've got the likes of House of Monsters, the dark ride they have there that's not brilliant, but it's something. It's better than having nothing there, dark ride wise. They got Twistosaurus, the spinning coaster that is a family coaster, but it is actually quite intense considering how small it is really. And they've got, yeah, a lot of junior coasters. I think they've got about 5 other junior coasters, about 9 coaster credits here if you're looking to get your cred count up. Flamingo Land's a good park to go to for that. And then obviously with thrill rides you've got the likes of Velocity, Mumbo Jumbo, Kamali, and everyone's most dreaded coaster there, Hero. I've said this before and I'll say it again, I don't think it's as bad as everyone makes it out to be. It's not one of my favourite coasters by any means. It's one of the worst thrill coasters I've ever been on, but it's not as rough in my opinion as everyone says it is. If you're on an inside seat, it's not really that bad at all really, but if you're on an outside seat, I will admit it is quite painful. But even no matter what seat you're on, expect to be in some of the most uncomfortable restraints you've ever been on. Basically what happens with that is you step onto like a ladder with about 4 or so rungs, maybe 3, I can't remember, maybe 5, not sure, and you essentially like step on the rung depending on how tall you are, so that you fit inside this like orange kind of cage, and there's like a chin rest in there, and your head goes in between this like part of the cage, and then your arms go through, I can't actually quite remember, it's so complex a system, but yeah. And then your arms like hold onto like a couple of bars at the front basically. It's really strange. I don't think I'm going to be able to film on that one either, because I just don't know how I'm going to set up the GoPro. I know YouTubers like Sean from Theme Park Worldwide, I know I'll mention him again, have filmed on there and they have managed it, but I must say the footage does come out pretty shaky because of the positioning of yourself in the restraints and because of how rough it is, because essentially a cage closes behind you, your back's not supported whatsoever, everything else you literally cannot move, and the thing leans forward so you're essentially led face down like you would be on a ride such as Galactica, but it doesn't really feel like you're flying, despite it being a, well, it's actually a type of ride called the Zamperla Volair flying coaster. You don't feel like you're flying, you just feel like you're trapped inside a cage, whereas on the B&M flying coasters, where you're sat in an inverted coaster style seat with a vest restraint and leant forward, you do really feel like you're flying. And B&M, I must admit, they're not the most comfortable restraints either, but they are very comfortable compared to Hero, and they do make you feel like you're flying. So yeah, but the Zamperla Volair design didn't quite work out as intended for them, I don't think. So you're basically thrown around in this cage thing, and yeah, because you're unsupported on your back, so you just get thrown around it basically, or your back does. Your feet can like slip off the ladder as well. Like, you do not feel secure whatsoever. It's weird because, like, yeah, you don't feel secure whatsoever, but you can still, but you can't move. Yeah, that's the weird thing about it, really. But yeah, that's Hero. I'll explain the other rides when we get there. But just with me saying, just with it coming up, how much everyone hates Hero, I just thought I'd explain quickly why. I'll talk about it in a bit more in the vlog if I go and film some off-ride footage of that. But yeah, yeah, really, Flamingo Land, it's a really underrated park in my opinion. A lot of people don't rate it with the rides they got there, but they got some really unique rides like Mumbo Jumbo. Again, not the most comfortable with the restraints, especially if you're tall, and I'll explain more about that later. But yeah, they press on your shoulders a bit, so if you're tall, it just makes it worse. They don't have normal over-the-shoulder restraints. They kind of had like a hybrid of a lap bar and kind of the top part of the shoulder restraints. I don't like them. Some people do, but yeah, some people find that uncomfortable. Velocity and Kamali, everyone like really, and I'll be sure to get some on-ride footage of them as well. Velocity might be a bit difficult, but I will try with that one. With you being like on a motorbike style seat, leant forward, but yeah, I'll see what I can do. I might be able to film that one. Kamali and Mumbo Jumbo will be fine to film on ride, but yeah, it's a really good park. Probably a 2-day park really, on a busy day if you include the zoo as well. So if you're coming from afar to Flamingo Land, especially for your first time, I do recommend that you make it a 2-day trip, and they have plenty of like accommodation there. It's like a whole resort now, Flamingo Land. They have like a caravan site, I believe you can camp and all sorts. But yeah, it's not the most themed park. A lot of it is quite open fields. I believe they used to have a lot of travelling rides there. It is quite sparse in terms of theming and overall atmosphere, but there is some good theming like round Kamali, and also in the Dinosaur Park, which is like the dinosaur area with the Twistosaurus spinning coaster, which I'll film on rides if I can. I'll talk a bit more about that in the vlog later as well. But yeah, that's all I really had to say about Flamingo Land. So yeah, I'll be there on Sunday, and yeah, the next shot you're going to see now will be me in the park.
Hold on tight.
Here we go. fast lift here. Woo! Around the corner. And into the drop. Here we go. Woo! Ah! In hang time. Here we go now. Woo! Yeah. Here we go. At least this ride's bearable, unlike Infusion. 130 foot, I think. Good ride. Into the drop. And here we go. Woo! Woo! Overall. Woo! There we go. A bit rough, but bearable.
Please exit to your left hand side. Don't forget to close your portal at the exit.
There we go. Here we go. Woo! It's very windy, so. Woo! Wow, I've never done one of these before and it's so good. Woo! kind of raining, so it's quite painful. Woo! Don't know how well that will have picked up, but yeah, there we go.
Please remain seated until the lights come before
Right, we've done the major coasters in the park, Velocity, Mumbo Jumbo, Kamali and Pterodactyl as well. We've had some lunch, tried to film Twistosaurus, but ran out of battery, but yeah. Was just trying to film Velocity's launch there, but it was a bit difficult, as you would have seen, because of this here inversion. There's some new posters here, and here we have the construction site boundary, so we can't walk down to the end of Velocity anymore. So Inversion, or that's what it's been codenamed so far anyway, is the new for 2020 10 looping or 10 inversion coaster at Flamingo Land. Almost a clone of Colossus, not quite. And here, on the other side of the construction site, we can see a few more footers and groundwork starting to take place, so yeah, very exciting. So while we were down this end of the park, I thought I would just film some of the other major rides here. And we filmed Velocity's launch, obviously that's the only real bit we can film that. And here we have the most hated coaster in the park, Hero, and you'll see the ride system that I was on about before. It is starting to rain, by the way, so apologies for the footage. It isn't going to look too good. But you'll see here this kind of cage system, and just look at that. Yeah, you'll really see things start to look a bit dodgy, should I say. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but yeah, in a minute when it goes down this transition down here, these people here are about to experience a world of pain. It's very exciting though, Inversion, by the way, the new 10 looping coaster. It's going to have lap bars as well, and there they go, into the brutal corner, and yeah, not nice whatsoever. There they go. Onto a much better ride. I've just come around here onto the bridge near the Flamingo 1 car ride. I'm not going to go on that today because it is very slow throughput, and yeah. And this is the Europe's steepest drop, and there you go down it. So yeah, really good ride. SNSL Loco. I've actually not been on Flamingo Land. No, sorry, Hero yet, by the way. I've been on this twice. Yeah, I forgot to mention that when I was filming Hero. But yeah, we've got Mumbo Jumbo there. And that is how to make a compact ride that is good, unlike Hero, which is compact and not so good. This isn't too painful, a little bit on the shoulders as I said, but not too bad. just realised we can get a really good shot of pretty much Hero's entire layout here. The Spiral Lift Hill is fascinating though, and I mean, the ride doesn't have much else to offer, but the Spiral Lift Hill is good. I think the main problem with it is the transitions. The restraints are a problem, but I think the main place the park, Zamperla have gone wrong here is the transitions. Like, just look at this now, like, who would do that? It's like as if they decided to try and build a flying coaster in as small a space as possible and then just threw the whole design together, designed it in RCT or something, and then just went and built it. Like, who would build some of these corners here? I really don't get this, I really don't. But here it is. And they're all like this as well. So, last major coaster really I had to show you is Kamali. Vekoma SLC, as I said before. It's the kind of medium, it's the middle in terms of height, in terms of the ones in the UK. You got Infusion, the smallest with the standard layout of 109 foot. You got this, which is kind of medium height, 130 foot, and that is I forgot what the layout's called. It is a type of layout, but it's not the standard layout. Like, there's like one clone of it somewhere else in the world, Kamali. And then you got Odyssey, which is the custom layout. Only Odyssey has that layout in the world, 160 foot, and that's at Fantasy Island. Yeah, as I said, it's a bit rough this ride, but it's bearable as long as you keep your head forward so you don't bash it against the back of the restraint. And then, like on the Nemesis, keep it to one side over the Cobra roll, and on the Zero G roll to avoid banging there. But the restraints are soft, so if you do bang your head, which is pretty much guaranteed to every time you go on it, it doesn't hurt too much. Unlike Nemesis and Infusion, where if you bang it even once, it can ruin the entire ride. In Infusion, you get it banged like all the way through. So yeah, I'll show you one more shot, then I'll go around underneath the ride so you can get some good shots there. Right, pretty much done filming everything on the Flamingo 1 bridge, so I've come here to film underneath Kamali. Yeah, but brilliant coaster, not as good as Nemesis. It doesn't have the same level of intensity, it's nowhere near as intense. To be honest, I don't find Kamali too intense at all. But the first drop's really good and we stood right underneath it, so yeah, really good place to get some shots of this ride from here. And there's some others in the queue as well. But yeah, I'd say the roughest part of the ride, by the way, is the Cobra roll, so yeah, just be prepared for that part. It'll be fine. So you've just seen there some on-ride and off-ride footage of our trip to Flamingo Land. As I'm sure you can probably tell, on-ride footage is allowed at Flamingo Land without permission. I actually did find that out before I went from Theme Park Worldwide. I couldn't find anything on the website. It is allowed without permission, and none of the staff at Flamingo Land had any issues with me filming on the ride, so that was fine. So yeah, as long as you've got a chest mounted GoPro, yeah, that is important to note, by the way, it must be chest mounted. Yeah, you're fine to film on rides without, and you shouldn't have any issues, so yeah, just go and do it, it's fine, you don't need permission or anything. Yeah, but just a quick summary then. Velocity is good as always, still my favourite ride at Flamingo Land. If you watched the recent top 10, you'll know that I put Velocity at my 10th favourite ride in the UK at that point, and that's not changed since I've gone back to Flamingo Land. It's still kind of as I rated it, really, exactly as I remember it being. Mumbo Jumbo, maybe not quite as intense as I remember it being last time actually. I think I rate that a bit lower than last time, and I think that really is just because obviously that was like, I think, yeah, it was my first Beyond Vertical drop, so it was kind of a big deal when I first rode it, but now it's not that big a deal, but it is still, as I said, the steepest drop on the roller coaster in Europe. Cavalli was good. As I remember it, really, again, a bit rough, but bearable. A lot better than Infusion, with the main reason being that the restraints are soft. So you wouldn't have been able to see it very well on the GoPro, but there was quite a bit of rattling going on as we were going round it. Didn't really pick up on the GoPro, really. The GoPro made the ride look quite smooth, but yeah, it was a little bit rattly. Velocity, I know that probably looked quite rough from the POV. It's not as rough as it looks on the POV. It's not that bad, but because of like the forces on the ride and stuff, it moves your body around. And with me having the GoPro positioned as it was quite awkward to position it on that ride. Yeah, it wasn't easy to film. So as we went over hills and round corners, it did mean that it came out quite rattly, that footage, but you still got a good idea there of kind of the overall layout of the ride and the experience itself. You do kind of get a bit of rattling on Velocity, but not to the extreme that the GoPro kind of showed it as being. And then we have Hero, which was as bad as I remember it, a bit rough. I had my hoods up, so my head didn't get bashed too much, but yeah, I was on an outside seat there. Probably one of the better rides I've had on it, on an outside seat. Like, I remember back in like 2015, it was really bad on an outside seat. But yeah, not quite as bad as I remember it actually on an outside seat. But you know what I mean. You've seen the off-ride footage. I would have never got the GoPro on that. Yeah, there was absolutely, like, I wasn't even wearing it when I rode that ride. You'll know if you watch the video, there was no on-ride POV. Yeah, I know like Theme Park Worldwide and stuff are filmed on that, as I've said before, but yeah, I don't know how I'd do it with like my GoPro's setup. But yeah, and then that new Starflyer added, Pterodactyl, that was really good actually. I was looking on like the Flamingo Land website yesterday, and that ride is actually a lot taller than I remember it, a good 150 feet, like, it's quite tall really. I believe the smallest Starflyers are like 100 foot, and then you've got the ones in like Florida that are like 300 foot or something ridiculous like that. So, you know, a reasonable size. Second tallest ride in the park actually, Cliffhanger being the tallest at 180 foot, and then that being 151 foot to be precise, I believe. And then we did a couple of other rides as well. The Twistosaurus roller coaster, that was alright. I was going to film on that one, but as I said, my GoPro ran out of battery. I must have not charged it quite properly, so I would have filmed on some of the other junior coasters, but I just didn't have the battery to do it. Like, I was going to film Velocity again as a second POV, because I wasn't sure how the first one had turned out, but I decided not to, because I did have another ride on it. I had 2 rides on everything, as I said, all the big coasters. Apart from Hero, I only did that once, but yeah, I was going to film Velocity again, but I didn't. Well, I know I said in the vlog I had 2 rides, but after that footage I showed you, I actually did go round for an extra ride on all of them, and then I did Hero as well, which I hadn't done at the time of me recording that part of the vlog. But yeah, Twistosaurus, a good family coaster, has a bit of a kick to it. if you get on a car that spins, some of them spin not well at all. Sometimes you get like a really good spin. It all depends on what car you go in, because some of them don't spin well, as I just said. But also the weight distribution. Ideally, you want the weight distribution on one side of the car to make sure that spins properly. But yeah, we also did the Little Monsters Dart Ride. That's very similar to the Oakwood Dart Ride, but a bit less scary. You'll know what I mean by the Oakwood Dart Ride if you've seen the Oakwood vlog. Go and check it out if you haven't. Spooky 3D. It doesn't have any jump scares very mild jump scares anywhere on the Flamingo Land. I believe it's the Little Monsters Mischief Mansion, I believe the ride's called. So right at the opposite end of the park, so be sure not to miss that one, because it's not great, but it's worth going on. If the queue is outside the door though, don't bother, because you'll have to wait a while, because the ride is ridiculously low throughput like the Oakwood Dart Ride. What I do like about the Little Monsters one though, I'm not really sure which I prefer. I think Oakwood's is slightly better overall for the scares and stuff, because there's some pretty big jump scares in Oakwood's with, you know, what goes on. I won't spoil it, go and watch the vlog to see why, but there's some quite big jump scares in the Oakwood one, which you don't really get on the Flamingo Lands one. But what I do like about Flamingo Lands is it turns so you face the scenes, which the Oakwood one doesn't do. Because on the Oakwood one you can miss the scenes, but this, like, the cars turn to face the scene, which is like, this is a 2D ride by the way, and the Oakwood one is 3D. So yeah, that's all I really have to say really. I mean, like I said, I would have done some of the other junior coasters like Zoom, Runaway Train was down, Dino Roller, and then the Go Gator, that's a kids one, so wouldn't have been able to do that one. I think you need a kid to go on that one. So yeah, we couldn't have done the Go Gator, but the other 4 junior coasters, including the Twistosaurus as well, and the 3 I just mentioned that I'm allowed to go on, I would have filmed them, but unfortunately the GoPro ran out of battery. There's so much there, like, you've only seen a snippet of what's at Flamingo Land. There's so much more what I'm not showing you, because there's a lot of like kids rides and stuff. The whole Muddy Duck Farm area and stuff like that, which I didn't really show you. And then also the zoo as well, which there were no real animals out, so, or not really anyway, nothing really to show you guys, so I didn't go on there. And then zoos really aren't that much of my thing anyway, but yeah, and then there's a few other thrill rides that I didn't want to do, like Flip Flop and stuff, because I'm not really into that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I really had to show you really. There's the Lost River ride as well, which I would have filmed on, but it was just too cold, so yeah, it's a good ride. Well, actually it's not that good, but it would have been worth me filming. But yeah, one day I'll go back to Flamingo Land and film that stuff. But yeah, it's a summer park for kind of stuff like that. But yeah, the main kind of thrill rides really I showed you, apart from the ones because I'm not a big fan of flat rides. Like, I've never done a Starflyer till now, but I'll definitely be doing more Starflyers because Pterodactyl was really good. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. This is probably going to be the last vlog of this year, to be honest, unless I film at Vampire Beach in Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I've already been to Vampire Beach once. I wasn't actually aware that it was on that. I thought it started a bit later, but actually turned out I was there on the first day, but I wasn't like prepared to vlog or anything. That was good actually. They had the Werewolf Rowdy Rock out as it advertised on the website. If you've seen my what to expect at Blackpool Pleasure Beach at Halloween video, which go and check that out as well if you've not seen that. But yeah, they had the werewolf out. Yeah, I'm going to be going back there in... there's not really enough for me to make a vlog, especially when I've kind of vlogged Pleasure Beach so recently. So no reason for me to really do another vlog. But I will be going back there in about a week's time. Well, a week exactly, as this video is going up on the Tuesday, hopefully. So hopefully in exactly a week I should get back there and get to there. But because I don't want to do Journey to Hell, so because I'm not really into scare mazes, so I can't really film that. But hopefully Vampire Beach, because I believe that'll be right in the middle of Journey to Hell. So if we can get in the Chinese puzzle maze, which is being used, I'll go in there and show you some of the stuff set up for Journey to Hell. But I'm not sure we'll be allowed to, but because I believe it's getting a complete transformation. Because I went to have a look actually when I went to Pleasure Beach last week, and they hadn't done anything, but from what I've seen, the pictures and stuff, they have started doing stuff for the Journey to Hell event in the Chinese puzzle maze, which is part of it. So if I can, I'll try and go in there and show you guys some of the stuff in there so you can get an insight, but I'm not sure they will let us in there once the Journey to Hell event has started, because I'm guessing they want to keep everything set up for the guys who are doing that. But yeah, the next vlog then, if I don't vlog that, I will show you some shots of Rowdy Rock, which I'll film next time if I go back and I see him around. He tends to be in North Park, around Ghost Train, around the FY4 area, around the fountains, kind of around that sort of area. So I'll look out while I'm walking past that sort of area in North Park towards the entrance to the park itself. But yeah, next vlog then will probably be from opening weekend at Blackpool Pleasure Beach if I do that. Yeah, that's if I do that. I couldn't do it last year, couldn't make it, but if I do opening weekend next year, then I might vlog it at Pleasure Beach. Apart from that, I don't know when the next vlog will be. Obviously I've got some trips to Poultons Park next year, but in the meantime, I've got plenty of on-ride and off-ride POVs from trips this year and last year, which I've got to edit and upload that I just didn't do last year. I've explained kind of why in separate videos and stuff, but yeah, this channel ended up stopping in the winter, but I've got it a bit more planned out this year, so I'll make sure that I kind of upload what was meant to be uploaded last year as well as stuff for this year in that time. In addition, I'm also going to be doing some more top 10s. Check out the one where I did my top 10 rides in the UK. Going to be doing some more stuff like that. And also reviews of rides as well, like you'll have seen my Icon and Wicker Man reviews. I'm going to do some more reviews for rides, but kind of do my own kind of spin on kind of ride reviews, as I've explained in past videos as well, past sit down videos. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.